I think it was the first week where neither of us hit. So we got to get back on track. I think it was something like, I think we're like 50-50 going back like the last 2 years though. We've been pretty on with these. And that's what you don't even need to hit 50% because it's a money line dog. So just trying to take our shots and hopefully I know these are like a listener favorite and so we'll try to keep them coming. Who you got this week?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Jets at home on the money line against the Dolphins. I don't really love many dogs this week, but this one screams high variance to me. You have Zach Wilson in there at quarterback. He's going to be, he's kind of more high variance, which is what I look for in these money line underdogs. And this game screams high variance. We have Teddy Bridgewater in there. We'll see. The Dolphins have a ton of injuries, and this is going to be such a fascinating matchup when the Jets have the ball. Dolphins' run defense has been spectacular. Don't expect the Jets to get anything on the ground. So what this is going to come down to is the Jets, who are down to like their 6th and 7th string tackles, I think, at this point. They literally have, I think, four offensive tackles who started now in IR. They're going to be going against the blitzing Dolphins without their starting corners. And the Dolphins' pass defense has been horrendous because they don't have Xavier Howard, who I don't think is going to go. Jones is still on IR. They have injuries all over the secondary. So it's going to be like, can Zach Wilson and launch it downfield? How many times can you throw it to Elijah Moore?
You mean Garrett Wilson?
And yeah, but I mean, Zach Wilson loves Moore, doesn't he?
No, he's terrible with Moore. It's like, that's like a common misconception. Like, that's like one of the things that was like, it was annoying me because I kept hearing this over and over, like, oh, well, Zach Wilson has chemistry with Elijah Moore. No, Zach Wilson to Elijah Moore, under 50% completion rate, and like,
yeah, but doesn't he always throw him, but it's just not good?
Yeah, but that's the point. Like,
well, that was my point. I said, how many times is he going to be able to connect with him?
None.
But yeah, I mean, it's just going to be Wilson against the blitz against the bad secondary with some talented receivers. And it's like, it's either going to go, there's going to be pick sixes or there's going to be long touchdowns. High variance, home dog at home against the backup quarterback in a division game. Yeah, let's throw the Jets in there.
I like it. I thought about them as well. You made a good point with the Bears. I think that's an intriguing one as well, but I'm going to stick with my original and I'm going to go with Seattle plus 194 at New Orleans.
Similar spot, Bears and Seahawks.
Yeah. I do wonder a little bit about the preparation for New Orleans. Like, I know you have pointed out how they have handled it better than Minnesota, but you're still coming back from London. You're still kind of like, nothing's really going on at practice because all your guys are out. I mean, there's no Winston, no Michael Thomas. Winston maybe he's going to miss another week. If he doesn't, he's not going to have a full week of practice. Not with his receivers, who are kind of still new because everyone was missing time all preseason too. So I still think the Saints team could be susceptible to some lapses. Kamara was back at practice, but I mean, never a short thing with him. I mean, he got ruled out at the 11th hour last week. But whether it's Winston or Andy Dalton, we just need some turnover help. This Seattle defense, you're going to be able to move the ball on them. But Geno is playing well. Seattle does have some good receivers. They could get, they could kind of hang around here if they just get a bounce or two. And, Jameis, if he goes, he's only started one game as a home favorite for the Saints. We always talk about you want to fade him when he's a favorite and back him when he's a dog. He was minus 321 on the money line against the Giants, lost the game. And then Dalton is 4-7 as a straight up as a favorite over the last 3 seasons. So this is no short thing for the New Orleans Saints. I hate kind of buying Seattle here after, they play this.
Geno Smith highest completion percentage in NFL history.
But I mean,
4 weeks.
Yeah, it's like not a lot of things about Seattle are kind of propped up by who they play. And just like they were kind of, they played 2 of the best defenses in the league in the first 2 weeks in Denver and the Niners. So I think people were a little too down in their offense, now probably a little too up, but this isn't about that. This is just about you have a team coming back from an overseas trip that's been sloppy. I mean, the fact that they were able to go down, what was it, 20-0 against the Panthers a couple weeks ago? Like this team, I just think you're gonna get some sloppiness against the Falcons too. I mean, they didn't show up for the first 3 quarters, so maybe kind of take some first half money line as well to kind of hedge here. But I do think New Orleans is going to be prone to a little more sloppiness than we're used to. Without Sean Payton here at the helm, and they're kind of practicing with different quarterbacks and whatnot. So yeah, give me the Seahawks plus 194.